Okay, I promised you ethical dilemma yesterday. Pretend there's only 1-2 tables going. If your table looks like it's gonna break, there's open seats. You guys ask how many open seats there are, and if there's enough open seats for everyone, you guys fill the other games. If there are more players than open seats, you draw. The 5 players, 4 open seats, the 4 high cards on the draw get the seat, the 5th guy can leave or go on the list. Okay, that's not a big deal. What if it's a different game? Say there's a bunch of 1-2 no limit tables and 1 Omaha table, and that Omaha table is getting very, very short. And those players want to keep playing. When the game dies, the only other game is 1-2 no limit. What about then? You don't really draw when it's a different game. Those players can just leave Omaha, go to the floor, say, I want to play no limit. Is there a no limit seat? They say, yeah, go to that table. And even if there are fewer seats than players, you're changing games. So you're a new player in 1-2 no limit, and it should just be first come, first serve. That's how it is to me. Anytime you change games, you change stakes, you're a new player. And you just go on the list. If there is no list, then you're first up and you get the seat. This used to happen a lot in Council Bluffs. A lot of times in Council Bluffs, the last 2-3 game, 600 max, would be dying down around like 1 a.m. Well, there would still be a lot of 1-3 tables, 300 max. So it's not the same game, so it's not really a draw for the seat situation. So this is what I would do, and I did this a lot. I would see the game breaking down 2-3. I would see how many 1-3 seats were open. If there were more seats than people, it didn't matter. If there were fewer 1-3 seats available than players at the 2-3 table, I don't want to draw and risk not getting a seat. So I would just leave that game. Say we're down to like 5-handed. I would just leave that game. I would go to the floor. I would say you have a 1-3 seat. Knowing there is, basically just asking him which table are you going to send me to. And he would tell me what table to go to. And since I'm changing games, I'm a new player into the 1-3, and I'm just the only player on the list. You know, there's no list anymore. The board says open seat, so I get a seat. And if the other 4 people at 2-3 want to keep playing, they could keep playing. If they don't want to play 4-handed, well, I was the first one to get a seat, and it's first come, first serve. I thought so little of this being something people would get mad at. I used to tell the floor exactly what I was doing. As he sent me to a table, I would say, oh, by the way, we're getting real short at 2-3. Now it's even shorter that I'm gone. I think that table is going to break any minute, and you're going to have to, you know, go over there. Just letting him know he's going to have to go close the table, get a fill, and lock the well. But by telling him he has work to do in a few minutes, I'm letting him know exactly what I'm doing. He didn't care. He let me go. He didn't care. And then if the other 4 people all at once wanted to get 1-3 seats, I mean, they drew, even though it's really more of a first come, first serve thing. Well, one day, a dealer and a player had a beef. And after the dealer left, I asked the player what it was about. And he said the night before, he did exactly what I always do. And she got mad and said, you know these other players are going to break as soon as you leave and it gets really short. You guys have to draw. You can't just run up there and go get one of the first available seats. And his defense was, I don't know if they're not going to play 4-handed or if they are. People say they love playing short-handed. So I didn't know it was going to break instantly. I was changing games. They could keep playing if they want to. Well, my defense is different than his. Same outcome, but a different reasoning. If that's happening, the way I look at it, I'm the one who's aware that this game is about to break. I'm the only one looking at all the 1-3 tables, counting the open seats, understanding there are fewer seats than 2-3 players, and a draw risks not getting a seat. So I'm leaving this game early, becoming a new 1-3 player, and getting a seat in one of those games. I deserve more than anyone else on that 2-3 table to get the seat because of all the anticipation and all the counting I'm doing. So it's just another form of some people think it's smart and you're prepared and you deserve to get it, and some people think it's kind of sketchy for some reason. But I never thought anyone would care about this until a dealer got mad at a different player for doing exactly that. But I mean, you're changing games. You're a new player, and if you're the first one to go up to the podium and ask, in my mind, you deserve the seat more than the other people. You shouldn't be rewarded for not paying attention to the goings on in the poker room, not knowing how many seats there are, not understanding any minute this game is going to break. The people who are not paying attention should be penalized and should have to risk not getting a seat. If someone is paying attention to all that, that player deserves more than anyone else to get one of the seats and to continue playing. So that's the way I look at it, but sure, people will have different opinions in the comments, and I'll read them.